Hello. Welcome, everybody, to The Walking David. I'm David Grayson. You already knew that. It's extremely hot here in Burbank, California, as you can clearly see. I don't know how good my camera's picking this up. If I had a 4K camera, you would see that I have basically soaked through this shirt. And, look at this. This looks like a tear. That's sweat. That's sweat right there. All right. It's, I don't know. It is a hot day. I don't even know how hot it is. Babe, do you know how hot it is?
I can look up.
Yeah.
Okay, it is 90 degrees.
90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, up here it's like 110 degrees. It's absolutely insane. But you all might be wondering what this live stream is about. And the reason I called it Movies Q&A was so that if any of my subscribers join in, they can ask questions about the film industry or my thoughts on a movie or a trailer to a movie, etc. So if you have any questions, hit me with it. And until then, I guess we're just going to talk about the weather. Oh, man. Yeah, it's insanely hot. My hair was straight this morning when I woke up.
How about until someone asks a question, you talk about Chernobyl?
Ooh, that's a very good idea. I like that idea. So, well, I don't even know. I almost feel like, should I start the stream over and just talk about Chernobyl?
No, it's fine. Keep going.
Okay. Chernobyl. My girlfriend and I recently finished it, and we both agree that it's probably one of, if not the best, miniseries we both have ever seen. Amazingly written, brilliantly acted, production design and cinematography, amazing. I even actually worked with a guy who was a cam op on Chernobyl at AFI.
Oh, lucky devil.
Well, and he's like Lithuanian. His name's Salius. And no joke, there's a picture of him on Facebook from like that first scene when they're going there and they're like picking up graphite. He's like behind the guy picking up the graphite. I didn't know what the picture was until I finally saw it. But it's absolutely wonderful. I'm going to try not to give anything away until I hear from people in the chat saying that they don't care. Because I happily would do a whole stream just devoted to Chernobyl. This could be it. Who knows? The magical Negro says, "Hey, Mang, what up, white boy?" That's my dad, everybody. Says that every stream. He's so supportive. But not much, dude. How are you doing? Having a good Sunday? I hate that these chats are always on a delay. You talked about that before.
Oh, yeah. It's like a 5-10 second delay.
I think it's even more than that for some people.
One of my favorite things is that when you were doing your Pet Cemetery stream,
yeah,
and because of the delay, you ended up just coming downstairs and grabbing me from the downstairs office. But how you said, hold on a second, disappeared off the corner of the frame, and then immediately appeared in the office doorway after crossing the stairs, the hallway, and coming all the way to the door. It was completely surreal. What do you say?
Said, just chilling, jacking off, good stuff, good day.
Sounds like a good day.
It's a pretty full day. Chilling before jacking off, though, got your priorities mixed up. You got to get all ratcheted up, jerk off, and then just do nothing all day. Just collapse into a puddle of yourself. Not a literal puddle of yourself, but you know. You know what I'm saying. man. God damn. I really was hoping that was going to cool it off.
Yeah.
Do you want to just open up the windows and...
Sure. Go back to what we were doing. We got to do what Adam said and buy a new AC.
Yeah. I don't even know if it needs a new AC. First, we need to have them check it out, and then we'll, do it.
At the very least, now everyone can hear you.
Yeah, seriously. I'm sorry about that, you guys. Whoa, dope. Just open the window, but leave some of the blinds closed.
It's honest. It's hotter outside.
Okay, then close it, I guess.
And there's no breeze.
All right, well, I got to do this. Anyways, Rude Man 12, what's up with you? Is it Rude Man or Rudeman? Could be Jewish, nobody knows. Oh, is it on the low setting?
No, I turned it off. There you go.
Okay.
Well, there's your answer. Just two separate words.
Rude Man. Can you?
Yeah.
Well,
You want to keep talking about Chernobyl?
I do, however, just to reiterate for anybody who is joining now, this stream was initially supposed to be about any film-related questions that you guys may or may not have had about the industry, if I could impart any wisdom, or if there's something you were curious about, like the inner workings of something. Vincent Garzon, do you smoke weed? When it is given to me. So not all the time, and I usually don't buy it. I'm cheap when it comes to that stuff. Usually if you wait for someone else to start smoking weed after a couple of hits, they're pretty generous. So then they want someone else to smoke with. Do you smoke weed, Vincent?
Now we're asking the real questions.
That could be a movie-related question. I don't know. He says, yep, he's 20 years old.
Good for him.
You survived 2 decades. Now to 2 decades more. God, it is so hot. I got these like ringlets. So come on, folks, ask some questions. Let's do this. Movie-related questions, film industry-related questions. It could be about something I like, if I've seen something, something I might know, be knowledgeable about. Do you like anything song like hip hop and rock?
Very nice. There you go.
Oh, thank you.
Does that feel better?
That feels a lot better.
Good.
Also, it's fucking fashionable. Look at this. I like this. Gage Paragon. Did you know what? What?
That you look like George Washington?
She's sweet but a psycho. Sweet but a psycho. It's a good song. Speaking of which, I didn't answer Vincent. Do you like any songs like hip hop and rock? Or anything besides that? And do you know DJ Tiesto? No, and I think to the other question, I like hip hop and rock. It's all relative, though. There's some hip hop that I can't stand and some rock that sucks. But for the most part, I like most genres of music. The main one I don't like is country music. What's my favorite game? Okay, I'm going to ask you to be more specific. Do you mean like a physical game, like a sport, or do you mean like a video game? I got an answer for both. Sport, golf. Yeah, I know. Everybody just thinks that golf sucks. That's fine. I love it just because I play it. You know what I mean? It's like I think basketball and baseball are boring, but people who play those games love them. I love country music, but mostly early country, early 2000s. Yeah, it's not as bad, but it's gotten pretty shit. Country's just like hip hop now. It's guitars with a beat underneath it now. Temple Moon, Robert Pattinson as Batman is just awesome. But you heard what the catch is? No, I didn't. What's the catch? It has gotten pretty shit. New country is garbage to me, says Gage. Whew. Paper towels falling apart. Bruce Wayne is a homosexual struggling to come to terms with his lifestyle. That's the big secret. Don't know what to think. Well, if that's true, no. Stop changing things we love if that's true. It's like, stop ruining franchises. Did you see the new Joker trailer? I'm fucking interested. I apologize, just got here. What's the topic? I did see the new Joker trailer starring Joaquin Phoenix. I think it looks very interesting. I like Joaquin Phoenix. However, I don't know what route they're going with this movie. And I don't know. I'm intrigued. I'm definitely intrigued. I like the trailer. I thought the trailer was really, really good. However, that doesn't mean the movie's going to be good. And the key to understanding that is really trying to break down what they're showing to you, what you know about the subject, and what you think they're going to be portraying. And I think half of the movie will probably be fucking awesome and half of it will suck. That's what I think. That doesn't mean that it's going to be like I give it a 50%, but you know, every movie has some parts in it that are boring or characters that are kind of lame or poorly written. But I have a feeling that this Joker movie is going to be, like I said, half boring and half really interesting. This broke off. Okay. And the topic, Gage, was asking me any kind of movie-related questions. If you have any industry-related questions, or if you want just my personal quick take on a subject, like a trailer, like they were just asking about, Joker trailer, movie, TV show, etc. Temple. Bruce was never gay, but I heard the new Elm Street will cast an LGBT actor for Freddy to have a gay icon in horror. What is your favorite supercar? Tesla. Gage, I think it looks depressing and excessive. That seems to be scratching an itch I didn't know I had. And in regards to what the video is about, oh, really neat. Yeah, I think it'll be a fun little topic. My God. I just watched the Joker origin fan film on YouTube. I meant to just watch a couple minutes, but I finished it. Oh, are you talking about the Killing Joke? It was neat. Well, what did you like about it? Here, tell me what you liked about it really quick. I got to get up and do something. I feel like I'm just like drowning here.
So there's nothing I can do for you? Do you want more water?
Oh, my water bottle. Yeah, it's right there. It's right there on the table.
I'll get you a cold one.
Okay. Isn't it cold? Should be cold.
I mean, sweaty. Yeah, it's coldish.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you, babe. My little cousin wants to say hi to you. Hi. Hi,
Hi.
cousin.
Hi to who?
No, it just
Oh,
says that somebody's cousin wants to say hi to me. So I'm saying hi to them. Hi.
that's sweet.
Be right back. Gotta try not to show that I'm not wearing pants. It's pretty fucking hot.
Be patient, people. He's incoming. Had to wet his hair.
It's not wetting my hair.
Oh, what did you do?
Just brushing my teeth.
Oh,
Oh, are people freaking out?
no, they're not.
Oh,
I just wanted to make sure you didn't lose anybody.
you want to know? Okay, I'll tell you. The Joker fan film made the Joker its own. I really expected that it made it with regard to other Jokers, but also made its own thread. And that ... suspense
He was hanging.
left us hanging like the end of that movie. That, and it made its own Joker. It related to each cinematical Joker, but also made its own with strong influence to Heath Ledger, the including of Harley, Joker's humor, and Mindbreak. Mindbreak excluding a vat of acid. I liked it as all. That's fair, I guess. I think I enjoyed it for the most part until the end. I think the end kind of was lackluster for me, and you know, I went with my best friends, Alec and Kyle, and I don't know, we were all kind of a little let down by the end. We just thought they kind of pulled their punches a bit, and it being the first time that it had really truly been adapted to film, that it was just a little underwhelming is all. But overall, I would say I have a lot of good memories from it. Some parts of it just didn't translate very well. And the origin story, I think it could be handled better. No, I'm not talking about The Dark Knight. I was talking about The Killing Joke. The Dark Knight is brilliant. Like, I could talk for hours about The Dark Knight. I would never say that The Dark Knight was lackluster. Karate Kid. Huh. Well, what was the name of the indie film? I'll check it out. What was the name of it? You okay?
It's just hot.
I know. You should do this. You should do this thing that you did with me.
Yeah, I don't know why I didn't do it for myself. I'm gonna do it.
I swear, if we had headbands,
Yeah.
you know what, for the summer, I might actually get us some headbands so we can wet them, put them in the freezer, and then put them on.
Oh, that's a good idea. For the summer, I was just planning on dyeing.
Oh,
It seemed easier.
you know, you say that, and then you come to kill yourself, and you're not prepared. Joker Rising. I'm gonna write that down. Always wanted to do a movie with the Joker in it. Honestly, ever since I saw The Dark Knight, I was like, that gives me a fuck ton of ideas playing it like that. Smoking Alien Productions. Cool, thanks. I'll gladly check that out. Any other questions, folks? How's life in general? Good. Thank you. That was a nice question to ask. It's like right now, I just signed up for my first golf tournament in years, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to play this. I've been eager to get back into the swing of competition. Puns. But no, you were not the first person who came up with that. I said it a million times before.
I know.
And every dad boner out there also said it. Yeah, and I've been training, been working out a little bit every day. Yesterday I had a really great practice session. I mean, I probably practiced for what, 3.5, 4 hours? Like, it was a while. No prisoners in competition. Yep, certainly not. Since it's the first competition in a while, I'm not going to be too hard on myself because there's going to be a lot more tournaments. I signed up for this kind of a amateur tour, so this is just the first of many. And Gage says, "Thank you for being interested. It's cool to talk about things to someone who is." Well, you got it. I enjoy talking with people. Holy crap, you heard you just passed away? What the fuck? Who? Who? Ian McKellen.
What?
No, really? Can you verify that?
Yeah, I'll look it up.
Oh, god damn. We were just talking about Ian McKellen earlier.
Yeah. Let's see.
Don't just type his name. Type in
Okay.
Check Facebook. Facebook would have it up right away. It's sad that that's now our source of news. Here, I'll look it
I
up.
don't think it's real.
Hey, what's up, Lindsay? How's it going?
He's okay.
He's okay. How do you know?
Because there's no announcements. The only thing that pops up when I type in Ian McKellen death is there was a hoax that was started earlier in the week, and it got spread around, and it really took off on Facebook because people were typing condolences on his official page.
Oh, well.
I think he's okay.
Well, then I'm relieved then. That really made
Yeah.
me sad for a second. No, Lindsay, it's not real. We're just trying to verify.
Yeah.
If you type in Ian McKellen death and nothing pops up except
No.
it's a hoax, then
The
it's
first thing
a
that
hoax.
pops up Ian McKellen death is Ian McKellen, and all the information is in the present tense.
Well, yeah.
The only thing it refers to death is his parents. Which
Well-
that is not news.
No, of course not. They'd be like 150.
It's okay, people. He's all right.
They know now.
Okay.
They've heard you. It's just, and they've heard me. It's just use other words, David. He's fine. Into that. I'm happy to hear that he's fine. Good, just eating a bowl of ice cream, passing time until the newest episode of NOS 4A2.
What?
NOS 4A2? Was it Nosferatu? No, oh, Nosferatu.
That must be an online thing.
No, I've seen people talking about it recently, and
Nope, there you go. Okay.
like that guy who's like a futurist, or the one who thought he saw the future, like no, I'm thinking of Nostradamus.
It's a drama series based on AMC.
About what? Does it have a synopsis?
A gifted young woman who discovers she has the supernatural ability to find lost things.
Oh, that's right, Nosferatu. Or like, what's her fucking name? Phoebe Buffay's sister.
Mm-hmm.
When she was in a porno, it was like Nosferatu or something like that.
Get out of here.
It was. I know. I saw that somewhere in my chat. Not my chat, my feed, and I was like, I know what that is. And another channel I really like, Predatore. He was also reviewing it. Unfortunately, I do not have AMCs right now. If you guys are even somewhat enjoying the discussion, feel free to drop a like on this live stream. I always appreciate it. Yeah, he's a good dude. He actually put me on his recommended channels. Like, so if you go to his channel and you click on channels on his tab or whatever, I'm on there. Because he was just like, oh, dude, you need more subscribers. Oh, yay, here we go again. He's trying some new stuff. He's going to get into the swing of things. What was that sound about? I'm not talking about golf.
Okay.
I'm using a friend's Dish Network login to watch AMC. I mean, I suppose I could always just go online and wait till it's up and then just pirate it. I mean, watch it totally legally at a friend's house. So, Lindsay, not sure if you knew what the topic was, but the topic of the stream, it's titled Movies Q&A. So you ask me about questions about the industry that you're curious about that I could answer, things I have seen or my opinions on things, or if I haven't seen something. He's one of the few Walking Dead related channels that's actually honest, unlike certain channels, Cough, Make a Path Presents. Even he's having to start to come around a little bit, but yeah, he's pretty sycophantic. Endgame is the only movie I went to the theater twice to watch. I've seen it 3 times now. Take from that what you will. I saw Endgame. It wasn't horrible. Thought it was all right. It was worth the money to see the spectacle, but it was more spectacle than like a quality movie to me. But that's just because I've the term superhero fatigue comes to mind, but it's mostly just because I don't know. There's way more interesting stories where they get to do darker stuff. Had it just ended after Infinity War, I would have thought it was brilliant. Where it's like, yep, sometimes things don't go your way. And that would have been genius. And it would have been bold, and people would have been talking about it still. And, we just need like a break, man. You need like 10 years before you start remaking all this shit. Or, for God's sakes, we're already on our like 4th Spider-Man the last 15 fucking years. Never really had any interest in getting back into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've only seen like 2 movies. It may have been. I don't know. Marvel and DC, they both. Everybody is kind of jumping the shark a bit, except for like one of the shows that I was talking about at the very beginning of the stream, about 30 minutes ago. Is that show Chernobyl? Like HBO was smart to release that after the end of Game of Thrones because it definitely kept people, keeping an HBO subscription who were just there for Game of Thrones. If they managed to see the first episode, odds are they finished it, and odds are they loved it. I think it's the highest rated TV series ever. Do you need an agent to get into acting? To get into it? No. To get to a certain level of success? Yes. And I've had an agent, a couple of agents in the past, back when I was living in Oklahoma. They were fine for Oklahoma, but Oklahoma doesn't have much of a film industry. In Los Angeles, I know a lot of people who don't have agents that still get their own work just out of their own tenacity. But most of the people who are like part of the union, SAG, have an agent, and you'll get more work, I think, with one than without one. And if you don't get work, then it doesn't really hurt you. They only get paid if you get paid. So what kills you is when you have an agent and a manager, because the manager still gets 10%. The manager also gets 10% if you get a gig. So I am not SAG. I've been trying to become SAG for a while, although it's becoming more of a challenge because, not that you guys know about all this stuff, but there's something called a SAG New Media Agreement. And with SAG New Media Agreements for the last few years, YouTube content creators, people who do web series and get things onto like Amazon through their own distribution and their own hard work, were able to make themselves SAG. I'm answering it anyway. It's a good question. But SAG recently changed their rules, saying that they will not allow you to join the union on a project that is under $50,000 in budget. And I think it just has to do with the fact that they kind of were oversaturated for several years with people who were becoming SAG because they did a music video and they were a musician and can't act their way out of a paper bag, or they were on a web series for an episode and they had a few lines. And people were doing what I was hoping to do, which was make their own project, like produce your own movie or short film, cast yourself in it, and do what they call Taft-Hartley. And Taft-Hartley is where if you give someone speaking parts, they have to join the union. They are now a speaking member on a SAG project. And you okay?
Yeah.
Better?
Yeah.
So what was I just saying?
So you can't be SAG because they placed new limitations on the online stuff.
Yeah. So now because it was so oversaturated, they're making it nearly impossible for new people to do that route. And that route was kind of a surefire way of getting into the union. And I think they were getting a lot of people who were joining the union but weren't paying their dues. And when there are people who are clogging up the job market but aren't doing their job, then nobody's getting any money. And when they're not getting any money, they're like, we've got to shut this shit down and we've got to focus on the people who are getting us money. So we're going to make it impossible for new people to get in who aren't making us a lot of money. Is living with a lazy eye easy?
What?
Yes.
Especially when you don't have one.
I don't see a lazy eye. Do you have multiple tabs open? That's what somebody else has. I don't know. It might look that way here. Does this help if I do it like this? Maybe I do it like that. Never mind, wrong chat. God, throw in that Rick stare. It's all good. Had me for a minute there. I was like, wow, that's a question. Nailed it. Yep. That was fun though. I like answering those types of questions. They're fun to talk about because they're important. They're important to me. It's something that I deal with on a semi-daily basis. So when people are curious about it, I'm happy to tell them because I wish I had known this shit. My chat glitched onto someone else's chat. Oh. You like my sword? Well, thank you. My girlfriend got it for me for my birthday. And she got the scabbard for me for Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
You look fucking hot.
I'm literally hot.
No, but I just mean like sexy. You look sexy.
Then I shall stay off camera.
Yeah, stay off camera. Don't go nowhere, but stay off camera. Speaking of Rick, if nothing comes up, I'm going to hold another stream to go over issue 192, probably next Friday. You're more than welcome to join. Well, thank you. I might actually do that. It depends. But for right now, I'll tentatively say yes. I need to read that issue. I don't read the comics. I'm very aware of what's going on because of Makeup Path Presents. And People like Trev's Chan. Hey, what's going on, guys? Trev back here, and we're going to be talking about Rick Grimes on The Walking Dead. Am I watching the NBA Finals tomorrow? No. Mostly because I know what happens, Lindsay. Like, I know what happens even if I don't read it. It's like I haven't read the Game of Thrones books, but people have me talk about Game of Thrones all the time. I'll be honest, copyright. I have no idea who's playing in the finals tomorrow. I mean, maybe I know, but I don't think I do. Which is stupid because half the time my home state team is in the finals. It's stupid because I used to play basketball, man. Used to keep up with this shit like nobody's business. If you haven't yet, drop a like. It just makes me feel good. It's not because I'm making any money off of this stream. None of this shit's monetized. I just like seeing it. I feel validated when I see thumbs ups. Oh, Lord. Oh. Good God. Nah, I don't want to get into politics. That's not what this is about. More movie stuff.
I had a little Chernobyl fact here, if you're interested.
Sure, hit me with it.
The writer of Chernobyl, Craig Mazin, this is from Wikipedia, made the decision in the early stages not to use Russian or Ukrainian accents, but instead have the actors use their natural accents. What we found very quickly, he says, is that actors will act accents. They will not act, they will act accents, and we're losing everything about these people that we loved. So I was wondering, as someone who does impressions, what is your stance on that? Do you think that an accent enriches a character, or or for most cases, does it hold you back from your performance?
In a serious show like that,
yeah,
where you have these really long, drawn-out speeches, and it's extremely character-driven and not special effects driven or anything like that, I think it can. See, what's weird is that in this show, they could have gotten away with it because they're fairly soft-spoken, and it's easier actually to carry on an accent in a soft-spoken timbre than it is to yell it. You know what I mean? Like, it would be difficult maybe for the people who are in Chernobyl, like in the building, to do that. But someone like Akimov or Dyatlov, was it like Shmyarta? Like, what was his name? Like, it was the... Sherbina.
Yeah.
Sherbina.
Stellan Skarsgård. What is he? Norwegian?
Yeah, I think
Swedish. He's Swedish.
He's Swedish. Frank, my buddy in Sweden, loves him.
When he popped up, I said, "Hey, it's Bootstrap Bill," and then he said, "Shh."
That still deserves an eye roll. Eye roll a week later. The actor they got for Dyatlov looks just like the real life guy. He does. He fucking did. I told my manager that doesn't make any sense. Oh.
There was an auto air freshener looking at that.
I ran out of fluid, but no one ever replaced the fluid. I told my manager that doesn't make any sense.
But tish.
But don't.
Yeah.
But not bad. Not bad. Could have been worse. I give it a thumbs up, just like you should this stream. Stella Skarsgård is Alexander and Bill Skarsgård's dad. Yeah, I know. That weird looking guy from It who plays Pennywise.
Oh, hey, you said that guy that you were friends with that was Lithuanian who was a camera op in Chernobyl?
Yeah.
That's where it was shot. Lithuanian.
Yeah, I know. That's why he managed to get it.
Oh, okay.
I like commended him. Like we had a very short back and forth earlier today. But yeah, it's weird. I worked on a student film where he was the director, and I was a boom operator. But anyway, as far as the accent thing, that's a really great question, Glenn. That's a really great question.
About the accents?
Yeah, because if an accent, if you have time, if a person, like an actor, let's say they have a movie and they have like 6 months to prep.
Or 3 years.
Well, why would they have 3 years?
Because some scripts, before they even finish the first draft, they just have the story outlined and they'll attach an actor to it to start raising funds for it.
Sure.
So if the actor's attached from the beginning, then they could have years of preparation.
Yeah, I mean that's
unique.
It's very rare. So I'm not going to talk in terms of rarities or flukes. That's not usually the case. That's like saying like, well, Ryan Reynolds, that's why he was such a good Deadpool, is because he had 11 years to prep. It's like, no, he was working on other shit, sucking in other movies, and then he had a really good movie.
Yeah. Okay, so 6 months.
But so 6 months, pretty standard prep for them to put final touches on the script, get everybody attached, all the crew and everything, and then start. And assuming they have that amount of time, I think that if an accent has the right amount of time with the right actor and they put in enough work and prep, they can really get a fully ingrained and intrinsic accent that feels lived in, so to speak. So kind of like, just like you would get like a new pair of shoes, and yeah, they're a little tight at first, but as you wear them more, they start to fit more comfortably, and your feet just slip right in.
Yeah.
It's just like that, where an actor practices this voice, practices this character, really understands why this character talks the way they talk in certain situations. You know, when their voice goes up when they're nervous, or do they get kind of quiet when they're nervous? Do they get shaky at certain times?
Because my argument is that there are certain cases where it's like you have to study an accent for a regional American accent or an English or an Australian one, where it makes sense that if you're from that area, you would use that accent. But in a story like Chernobyl, if they were speaking English in a Russian accent, it doesn't make that much sense, because it's just emphasizing that it is not their native language. Where you have folks with Irish and English accents portraying Russians, it makes sense because subconsciously you're thinking that is their native language that they're speaking. Doesn't matter that they're speaking English, it just matters that you understand what they're saying and that they sound comfortable speaking it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if they'd kind of, I don't know.
Because it's like that really bad film that I saw where it was supposed to be a political thriller, and it was following an American troop as they were training, and the whole thing was that there was a spy in the group. And they're like, do you have any information about the spy? And then one person raises their hand and says, I have information about the spy. You're like, oh, gee, I wonder who the spy is. Where there's that short form in Western storytelling with that accent. Oh, sorry. I just want to make sure that they can hear me.
They can hear you.
Okay.
If I can hear you, they can hear you.
All right. But there's that short form of like otherness when you hear that kind of accent.
I don't know. I think certain people, if it's fine the way that they did it. I am happy that they were consistent all the way through, and they didn't just have some actors be British and some actors be Russian, and they didn't have Russian subtitles the whole time, because it's just implied that they are speaking Russian the entire time.
Yeah.
It's just like they automatically translated it for you. So it's like, yeah, you understand Russian. So as the audience member, you get this.
Yeah.
Stop. If you're participating, you can't be doing that.
Okay.
You can't see it, but she's like doing like shit like this, like with a cold rack, and it's just like
It's hot.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm wearing a shirt with a Jufro. I fucking know it's hot. Let me read what Lindsay had to say.
Yeah.
The actor who played Legasov loved him. And the actor who played the fireman were both in AMC's The Terror. Just more reason for you guys to watch it. Plus, The Terror was also based off a historical event. She said she can hear you.
Good.
I wasn't sure about The Terror, but I might watch it if it's anything like that. I haven't heard. I've heard some about The Terror, but I've kind of openly avoided it. If that makes any sense.
Oh, okay, cool. It's about a ship that's trying to find the Northwest Passage, and then they get stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's a bunch of people dying on the ship.
Cool.
Yeah.
Back to Chernobyl. I think if an accent is properly ingrained, then it only enhances a performance, but it is not necessary, assuming you are consistent across the board. If you have Hulu, they've added it to Hulu just recently. I don't know if we have Hulu, but I think your parents might.
I have Hulu.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Do you have Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
That means you can see the movie where I had like one line that was really shitty.
Oh, it's queued up right now.
It's called Skid.
Skid.
And
I'm glad cynical Lindsay approves of my synopsis of The Terror. That was me just glancing over the Google result.
I know. Welcome back to David and Friend. We just need like a head on a stick that you can just like poke into frame whenever you don't want to be on camera. Just like, it's like a Jon Snow mask. Ooh, I don't know what I think.
I don't want it.
I don't want it.
You are my queen.
You are my queen. God, somebody did a compilation of him saying that. I just wanted to punch myself.
Was
like,
it 20 minutes long?
No, it's because he only has like 10 lines, but they're all that. Oh man, I thought your girlfriend was a fan. Talk about nerd blue balls.
Fan of what?
No,
The Terror. Oh, well, I
don't go off on that. Don't go off on that.
I will become a fan.
Maybe you'll become a fan.
Yeah.
No promises.
There's a ship in it. That's good enough for me.
You are my queen. I don't want it.
No, he's off book.
Yep. He only had to check into fucking rehab after the fucking show ended.
Jesus.
He checked in for like alcohol and drug abuse or something like that, and depression. Into some, thing that costs like $18,000 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Can you believe that? $18,000 a day. It's like there is no therapy on the fucking planet worth that. Unless if that's like waterboarding therapy and you do it for a day or 10 minutes. We're going to waterboard you until you realize that you are a wealthy fucking handsome actor. Now get back out there and make that money, bitch. Show a little leg. WWLFD, what would Littlefinger do? Can you imagine Littlefinger in this last fucking season? How awful that would be? He would just go like this. What do you think, Littlefinger? Sansa. No. Sansa. The Starks. The Lannisters. Like, oh man, with his jetpacking he was doing in like season 6, he already was doing it then. In this show, he'd be like in the north one episode, and they'd be like, "Now I'm in Pentos." I'm mad that Littlefinger died last season. He should have been in the final season. Nobody should have been in the final season. If we had known that this is what it was going to be, I would have rather it ended at season 6. Seriously, I would have rather it ended with Jaime seeing Cersei getting crowned, and that was the final shot of the whole fucking show. Cersei wins. Jon's the king in the north. Cersei wins. That's where I'm going to stop. If I rewatch the show, which I am keen on doing at some point, when, the pain has subsided, I'm not going to watch season 7 and 8. I just can't. There's just nothing redeeming about them now. Because all of season 7 was wait for season 8. And then season 8 comes and you're like, God, what the fuck? Go back and redo it. I mean, how many fucking signatures did that thing get? I still hope that they get Star Wars taken away from them. Because quit fucking ruining stuff. If I was them, I would go like, no, you're not going to write Star Wars because you might just leave. What if something else comes along? What if they want to make another Indiana Jones thing and they want you to do it? At the same time Star Wars is happening. We're just going to kill everybody just so we're just going to shit all over this movie just so we can do something else. However, I do agree that Littlefinger, I will concede, he died in the dumbest fucking way. Very lame. I would have loved if he had to fight Arya or something. Anything would have been better than that. Where he's like, at least let me, fight for my life. I'm allowed that. Which he is. And just let him do it. And then right on the same line that Eddard Stark's brother, Brendan Stark, cut Littlefinger from navel to collarbone. Arya just guts him right on the scar. Bleeds out right in the mess hall. And when he falls on the floor, instead of blood coming out, Quinn?
Hmm?
Instead of blood coming out? Scrolls.
So he was made of paper?
No, he was made of secrets.
Oh, get out of here.
Littlefinger got a dumb death, but I don't know. Jaime's death was really bad. All of them suck. That all sucks. Got hit by 4 bricks based on the last episode, even though we saw him have the whole ceiling fall down. And I've said this before, if the whole ceiling falls down on your head, guess what? The floor above it doesn't exist anymore. So how did Tyrion even have a chance to walk down there? It's clear that what everybody is saying is right, that they could have just taken 5 steps to the left or right and lived. These people are fucking dumb. How great would it have been if, as they're, needing to get out of the city just to not be noticeable, they, buzz each other, they, cut off each other's hair or something like that, and then, rub dirt all over it so they don't look like them anymore. And then they have to, leave with their tail between their legs. Just not die. Death by strategically placed bricks. I blame the contractors for all this. I think the contractors sit on the Iron Throne. I think that's what it's about. Bran the Broken, I'm sure he knows a good contractor when he sees one. Good blacksmith, maybe. Well, just about an hour. I'll probably wrap this up in 5 minutes unless more people join.
Before you wrap up, tell them about the new video that's coming out.
Oh, sure, I'll do that. I'll save that for the end. I mean, seriously, the rest of the crypt is perfectly intact except where Jaime and Cersei were standing. because Lindsay, continuity doesn't mean anything. That's just a word. That's just a social construct. You know? D&D like to identify as non-linear storytellers and continuous storytellers. That's how they identify. So you should respect that. Bricks are racist. I've always said that. Seriously, it's so fucking like Davos is like telling the Unsullied, start your own house. Yeah, well, that will die in a generation. They apparently hate incest. Who does? Oh, bricks hate incest. Gotcha. Gotcha. Well, before this video wraps up, I don't even know if this video will still be live or if I'll make it unlisted for a little bit and then make it viewable to the public again. I'm not really sure. I might trim it down a touch because the first couple of minutes there's not a lot going on. Let's see. Three weeks later, I'm still having a hard time letting things go. Scorned fan here. Yep. Completely know what you mean. That was a pretty bad fall. That was a pretty bad fall. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. But what I wanted to say right before the video ended was that I have a video coming out that my girlfriend and I are putting together right now. She's currently editing it. And it is me trying to do Dungeons & Dragons voices for Dungeons & Dragons characters. So it's like a voice acting training session for me to practice voices, accents, impressions, what have you. It's coming along. She thinks it's pretty funny. I trust her judgment. And I'm too biased. I think I'm fucking hysterical, so I can't say anything. But be on the lookout for that. When you do see it, if you know somebody who's a nerd who likes Dungeons & Dragons, send that shit to them, okay? Because you've been waiting for the perfect thing to send to them to relate to their silly, silly hobby.
Was that aimed at me?
No. I love you.
I love you too.
All right. Well, thank you all for joining me today. Hopefully we can do this again. Next time I'll try to get more warnings so we can have more people in here. But it was a fun discussion, and hope I imparted some wisdom or gave you something to think about. Have a good rest of your day. I'm David Grayson. This is The Walking David. Have a good one, everyone.